as they come down to the line. I think he'll get the win, he does, over Nicky Godsell as the Moonshine stands up across the line. But this is a drag race to the line between the Havoc, Neil Roberts, who comes through for third place, and the Handful with Darren Greentree, who comes through and picks up fourth place.
We were saying, I think, yesterday morning, Dave, this...
All right, Linny. No, we got Bracket Racing, so 95. I think we got the 95 boats on the water now. And we are away and racing.
So Cobra, by the looks of it, leads out Alex Wilbo. He leads into ETS. Bridge turn. Rendo Tech, I think it is, moved to the outside. Oh, there's been a touch.
Oh, what's happened here? We've gone wide. All sorts going on here. What's happened here? So, is it Hombre here has got drama? And he's run to the outside, but I tell you what, he didn't have a look who was behind him, Linny. Yeah. All the boys had to go around. That was a bit wild.
The Raisin Hill, Tim McNamara has gone over the outside of Alex Willow and Cobra down the West Cranes back straight. Getting very tasty at the front of the field. So coming on to the LB, Earthworks front straight. Good battle here, David Bishop. Yellow flag being displayed also.
One to go here, Lenny, and the battle is on between Cobra on the inside and Raisin Hell. Timmy McNamara on the outside. The Cobra, of course, being driven by Alex Wilbo. It is going to go down to the wire. Absolutely gunnel to gunnel as they go down through the bottom rotor cut. Turner, number 2 here, eliminator with Anthony Gibbs. He's up in it. And we've had a hook here as well down in the bottom by the big Connolly Craft. Never enough, Sam Perry. But the battle continues on at the head of the pack as they go up into the ETS top turn into... This is gunnel to gunnel stuff, Lenny. It's going to be a drag race to the line. On the inside, the Cobra. On the outside, the Raisin Hell. There's absolutely nothing in this. Lenny, I don't know what to call it. Raisin Hell by half a deck over Cobra. Third place of the eliminator. And rounding out the field after a spin down the bottom corner here for rotor cut is a Sammy Perry in the Never Enough. Oh, Lenny.
That's a cracking drive by Tim McNamara to come round the outside of the seasoned veteran here, Alex Wilber. This is his home track. And Raisin Hill, Timmy McNamara is from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, mate, I actually would be interested to see that first.
Okay, Group B, 95 mile per hour, and it's Ronda Wodakovich in Hot Lemon, takes the early lead, heading towards the ETS bridge turn. So Ronda's been overtaken there. We can see, maybe, is that the Rendo Tech boat? No, it's not. So that's the Eagle driven by Jordan Davis leading Ronda Wodakovich. Jordan speechly in Mace moves up to take third. Now he's been pushed back to fourth. Ronda's bogged down coming out of Roto Cut. And Septo moves into second. Blaze on the West Cranes back straight. So Jordan Davis in Eagle doing a fabulous job out in front. Being handed the yellow flag and one to go. One to go from Jordy Davis. Glenn Brown in Steptoe holding second. Mace driven by Jordan Speakley. He's third. attack. Oh! He's gone right through the middle, through Rotor Cup there. So he's moved from fifth to third in one powerful swoop. The final time on the LB, Earthworks front straight. It's that, oh, it got very high indeed. Jordan Davis in Eagle takes the win. Steptoe, Glenn Brown home in second. Matt Rendell from Millfield in New South Wales third. Mace, Jordan Speechley from the Sutherland Shire home in fourth. And Posters, Rhonda Wadakovich home in fifth in Hot Lemon. Okay, Dave, we've got 550cc, so we've got...
We have, mate, 25 and 550s. These guys have put on some great racing, haven't they? Really impressed. I'm always impressed with young Tyler Scott, who's very, very quick. Rowdy Burns on pole there on the outside of him. I'll just try and pick him up, Linny. In fact, I probably need my little sheet here, which I'll just find.
So Melissa King, I think she's coming out of pole 4 on in Ragged Edge, but Burns is on the inside, heading into ETS bridge turn.
He'll be hard to beat from there, Linny. The boat's quite quick and he drives it well, so if he can hang on to pole position, he should win this one unless he bolzes it up.
Yeah, he should dictate to the... Yeah, exactly. He should dictate to the rest of the competitors.
Look at these start boat washers come through here. These little boats really know about it sometimes. Well, they get across them quite nicely there. Tyler Scott there, and then it's Lockie Dart, and then on the outside's the other 550 boat, which is PD Racing.
Yeah, Aaron Pratt. So we've got a good little race here.
And Ellison James, the commentary team's own Ellison James, rounding out the field.
Yes. So Burns has said ta-da goodbye. Tyler Scott has shook off.
Lockie Dart.
No, that's Melissa King, Ragged.
Oh, sorry, Melissa King, yes.
So Melissa's doing a fab job here. In fact, she's extended her lead over the fourth place getter there, Aaron Pratt in PD Racing. More Ginger, Alison James, our fabulous secretary.
Yeah, the commentary team's own, Alison James.
Yeah, thank you. And moving on to the LB Earthworks front straight, and to receive the yellow flag, Rowdy Burns. Rod Burns leads out from Tyler Scott. This may be his first time driving here at Windsor, Dave, and he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, so Tyler Scott, they've really developed this boat. His father, Steve Scott, built the boat from scratch, Linny, and it's a beautiful job. And you can just see how it just skips on about 10 centimetres of its runner plane because it goes along the straightaway. It just beautifully balanced. It does a fantastic job. Melissa King struggling to bridge the gap on Tyler Scott here at the moment.
Yeah, we can feel a bit of wind coming across the course, but because we're in an amphitheatre here, Dave, they wouldn't be feeling that as much on water level.
Yeah, no, that's right, mate, but they still need it, especially Tyler Scott's boat's super light. As you can see how it dances on the water. He needs to be careful of the wind gusts. We have seen him blow that boat over backwards. Rowdy Burns comes through and takes the win in a 550 boat. First 25 horsepower boat home will be Tyler Scott, Linny, and then it's Melissa King running in up in third place there.
Yeah, so right under Tyler Scott, very impressed. Great job, young man. Great job also, Melissa King.
Absolutely, she's held out
Aaron Pratt.
Aaron Pratt in the PD Racing, and the commentary team's own Alison James comes through in the Wild Ginger.
Wild Ginger.
She is a ginger, but she's not that wild, I wouldn't say.
Oh, I bet you she could be. Formula 2 coming up, Dave Bishop.
Well, it's a ski race class, I reckon, Liddy, this one.
Minus Joel Smith.
Yeah, poor old Joel Smith. He's a cat amongst the pigeons here, but or is he the pigeon amongst the cats? I'm not sure. They get away, Darren Hitchcock. He's just got that couple of mile an hour top end, hasn't he, as he goes away. And being in there on pole 2 and being able to get away from Mitchy Williams here with a smaller engine, that's going to bode pretty well for Hitch. He's going to be pretty hard to beat, I think, Lenny.
Yeah, LB Earthworks front straight first time. As that man again, Darren Hitchcock. He leads out from Joel Smith. He'll be sick to death on the side of this chasing speedboat. Brandon Cropper right down the outside. He's moved into third. Mitchy Williams in fourth. It's going through Rotor Cut, and Bailey Cropper in Mirage back in fifth place. But on the West Cranes back straight. Next time around, it's that man chasing speed, Darren Hitchcock.
Darren Hitchcock back to Joel Smith, and then it's Brandon Cropper running up into third spot in the orange Turnboy boat. Looking beautiful there as he comes around Team 26. But Hitchcock looks very, very quick. Again, we've just seen this go, and he's been super reliable as well. Yellow flag comes out as he comes down into the Rotor Cut. Top turn here, back to Joel Smith. Smith Family Racing, then it's Team 26. Cropper. Then it's Williams, and then Bailey Cropper rounding out the field in the Mirage boat. Really starting to get a feel for this. In fact, Bailey Cropper deciding to dive onto the inside and have a little bit of a cheeky look up the inside of Mitch Williams here. But race leader now comes through the ETS top turn into the LB Earthworks front straightaway. Down into the Mastercraft power boats, the Mastercraft Australia, Sydney. Finish line, Darren Hitchcock. That's a lot of sponsors there, Lenny. Joel Smith into second place. Bailey Cropper, Brandon Cropper. Bailey Cropper and Mitch Williams. Oh, it's Mitch Williams by that much.
It was similar in the previous race between...
Hey, good to see Corey DeVale, mate. What a legend he is, and good to see him up and about. He looks good too. We've got the monos out on the water, and Nathan Cleaver, well, he had a bit of a hurry up there from Patrick Benici in the boat on the outside of him last race, but I think Nathan's going to be a little bit hard to beat from here. He's got the bullet on his inside there, the 1850. Turn number 1, and Nathan Cleaver pulls away from the rest of the field, as he has been doing all day, Lenny.
Paddy Benici holding a good second, but he needs to be a little bit closer. Hollow Point, Mitchy Perry, he's in third. Oh, the grand old man of powerboat racing, Desi Maslin in the Troy Craft. Blue Bayou. To a lot of old supporters at the Deepwater Motorboat Club, this boat used to be driven by Mr. Glenn Burns, and it was named 100% Elvis, and it was all pink. So I've got a lot of history.
Looks a lot better now. All pink, my God. It's a nice looking boat, and I'll tell you what, Des is driving it really well. He's struggling a bit here because he started on the outside, so he's really doing it the hard way around the outside there. That little 1850 bullet, Mitchell Perry, he's doing a good job in that boat. It's side steer, so he'd have a little bit of weight. Or watch him, gee, he got across that crosswash really well there, Benici's boat, so this kid can drive, don't worry about that.
Well, he's been brought up on the Incogra Bay, mate, and the Georges River, so he experiences some of the worst conditions possible there.
He has a hook. I just put the commentator's curse on him.
I thought you might have. But
no,
he's gathered himself, and that still leaves Desi back in fourth in Blue Bayou. Beg your pardon, this should be the final time out of ETS. Bridge turn, and to receive the Mastercraft Sydney checkered flag will be Mr. Nathan Cleaver, all the way from Albury. He takes the win in stealth.
Yeah, he's too good, isn't he? Nathan Cleaver, the stealth little 1700 bullet. Tunnel Deck does a great job. Paddy Benici comes through and picks up second place in Power Marine, the Yamaha. And a great drive there for the young fella. Plenty of trim on the hollow port. Brings it through. Mitchell Perry just trying to hold off. In fact, he did hold off Desi Maslin. And in the Troy Craft machine, the Blue Bayou. Foreign folks as they come through, well done on making the C-Main final. Hayden Chesser out the front there. Red Nidri, Scott Cleaver on the inside, the Supernova, and the Odin 510 with Ryan Rhino Constable have not seen him all weekend, Lenny.
I saw him on Friday when I went to speak to him about this new Noonan package they've got. What a smick bit of gear that is.
Oh, man.
Very good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Mildura Ski Club. This is the 2025 Sunraysia Spectacular. My name's Vaughan Brewer, and I'm joined in commentary over the weekend by Paul Cunningham and John Contract. And John, a fantastic day of racing on Fast Friday yesterday, only to be backed up by our Super Saturday coming your way today.
Correct. We had some amazing racing yesterday. We saw some very, very fast hot laps, and we saw a whole range of different things yesterday. Vaughan, we saw some disqualifications which came left of field. I think probably more than anything it was more about the guys being a little bit overzealous and going beyond that cap of 100, which is in that X100 class. But we also saw some terrific laps out there from some of the guys. And then the racing, how cool was that to see 3 of those heats in the X100 class, and then we saw 2 in the 6 litres, and the racing was pretty solid. Like we saw some guys really pedaling tight against the boys and standing the things up and just pushing them through with all the horsepower they had. We saw some terrific racing yesterday, which is really only a prelude of what we're about to see over the next 2 days. Currently out in the water we have some junior city prime ready to roll, but Vaughan, 2 days full of excitement. Now for those that are watching live on the screen today and you're not able to get to the complex, we'll try to give you everything we can, including the action that's there, some of the details, sponsors, Vaughan as well, as to who's been helping us out this weekend. But if you're in the region and you're within travel distance, do yourself a favour, come down and just be part of what goes on here. This is an incredible event for 2 days. You don't have to travel anything for both. You can come today or be part of the action down there. It's an amazing complex point.
Yeah, of course, the Sunraysia Spectacular here at the Mildura Ski Club, brought to you by GTS Freight Management, Baldwin Boats, Transcool, MedX, Mildura Rural City Council, Gateway Mildura, and a great night over at the Gateway Hotel last night with the show and shine, and we'll give you the results of the show and shine a bit later on this morning when we're joined by Paul Cunningham. As you said, it's a round of the final round of the Battery World National Drivers' Championship for the forced induction guys. Yep. We've got the Tattoos R Us X100 and the Kavanagh Auto Parts 6 litre National Drivers' Championship. And as you've alluded to, we've got our juniors racing for round 2 of the National Drivers' Championship, sponsored by Land Transport. So 4 National Drivers' Championships here over the next 2 days, and a bumper field of juniors itching to get out on the water.
Yeah, and look, how good is it here at the moment, Vaughan? You know, like the water's fairly flat. There's only a trail of a little bit of mist of cloud in the sky. We are set for 2 really sensational days weather-wise here. And I know that the region here is accepting what's going on with our spectacular here this weekend. And looking at some of those sponsors, they are big level sponsors involved this weekend. So that's a testimony to what they believe this event starts and will build to over the years. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, one of our sponsors just walked underneath us as we walked past. Of course, Mark Schultz driving the Artist in the X100 category. Of course, sponsored by his company, Tattoos R Us. And we thank Mark for jumping on board. Only a deal done in the last month or so to jump on board and bring that National Drivers' Championship to us this weekend. For all of our GP Hydro live streamers, we are located in Mildura in Victoria in Australia. We're about 5.5 hours to the north of Melbourne CBD. In a beautiful part of the world, John, I've got to say, this is my first time here to the Mildura Ski Club, and the facilities, the staff, the officials, all of the volunteers, they've all come together to give us 3 days of some of the best motorsport you'll see anywhere in Australia.
Absolutely, and And this region develops with a lot of credential behind it, with the amount of people that have been racing for different disciplines, which we'll touch on a little later on today as well. But yeah, it's a great little part of the world. I keep telling people, if you're thinking about where we are in Australia, it's kind of where New South Wales, Victoria and South Australia meet, right up in that top corner. It's pretty much where we are. So yeah, we're expecting a brilliant 2 days of racing here this weekend.
As I said, we had the show and shine down at the Gateway Hotel last night, and I was able to get out and have a chat to some of the guys. Now, let's go through what happened yesterday with the Battery World National Drivers' Championship. Our current point score leader, Tate Ramsey, driving Lay It On. He is going to be in the top 3 or 4 as far as our hot laps. So he's not where I thought he would have been. I thought he would have top qualified, but that's gone to Brent Lewis in decision. Yeah. So that's a great run. The guy come down from the Gold Coast and certainly putting on a show. His other Lewis family member in Craig Lewis, driving Image, he's going to be going after his father's trophy, which is on offer today, the Clyde Lewis. Yeah. He's a 7 times runner-up to that trophy, so itching to get his name on that. Let's go back to Mikey Johnson yesterday in Addicted, and from Yarrawonga here in Victoria. We saw him lose the cowl going down into the entry into turn number 2. He was suffering from a sticky throttle. So that'd be pretty exciting. It'd grab your attention at 140 mile an hour with a blown boat, yeah, and having some sticky accelerator. I was talking to Brett Nidry this morning. Brett's went out for a couple of runs yesterday. That wasn't engine related. That was to try and tone the boat's behaviour down. Yeah. He ended up losing a screw out of the engine, and it got caught between the pulley and the drive belt.
Yeah, that'll do it, right?
And it's put a hole in the belt. So the new belt going on this morning for Brett Nidry. We've unfortunately haven't got Mark Gauci with us this weekend. We had a bit of a talk with Mark yesterday, and Mark will be itching to come back.
And trust me, he was here yesterday talking about the fact that this is, and he said it so simply, this is so hard for me to just watch. He said, because, you know, as a stalwart competitor who really wants to just get out and get going, you know, it would have been hard for him to do that yesterday. And I thought he actually handled himself pretty well for a guy that's at that top echelon and just standing there watching what was going on. And his insights were very valuable yesterday too.
You could tell he was hurting, John. It must be hard to sit there and watch all of your fellow competitors trying to go for the Battery World National Drivers' Championship, but it's on the line today. Yeah. Our heat races will be done today, and then we get into the finals tomorrow. So, as we said, if around the local Mildura area, please come down to the Mildura Ski Club. You're in for 2 days of some very, very fast racing. And speaking of racing, we've got our juniors out onto the water at the moment, and doing a nice precision run down the back straight, 3 wide at all the same speed. And the juniors, I can't believe how many juniors are here. Let's just go back to Mark Gauci yesterday. I had a chat with Mark this morning, 158 miles an hour down in Windsor a couple of weeks ago. So, as I said yesterday, the BNR guys, there's Brett, Blake Ramsey, Tate Ramsey and Mark Gauci. There's a little bit of a bet on as to who is going to be the first man to do 160 miles an hour in a forced induction boat. So we're just watching our juniors now as they start to make their way towards the start-finish line, and this will be their first event of the weekend. Actually, that was just a practice or a sighting run. Yep. The black flag is up, and that means to return to the shore.
I'd say they're probably all going to get a run by the look of that, the way they're all phased in. So we'll wait and see what comes out of that. But yeah, look, it was incredible yesterday to watch that some of the action. And you know, the really cool part about it for me, Vaughan, I got a chance to see some of the guys that were very calm in their approach to how they went about doing their hot laps. And then there were others that were quite cutthroat, quite almost vicious on the throttle to just physically wring its neck and get it around. Completely different ends of the spectrum as far as the racing was concerned yesterday. But the results came out pretty much the way they were, you know, and it was great to watch both of those styles of attack, I suppose. You know, the calculated versus the aggressive. The aggression, yeah, correct. You know,
just throw it in. I also caught up with Brett Shepherd last night as well. Brett making a return after 18 months
And
away.
what a drive yesterday.
Oh, sensational drive, and he was telling me last night they actually missed it. They could have gone quicker than that.
Oh, really?
Ideal conditions for a forced induction boat is about 600, the air has to be at around about 600 feet. They tuned the boat for 1,000 feet,
right.
and by the time that they had actually got out onto the water, the atmospheric conditions had changed. It had gone up to 2,000. So they've overjetted the engine. They've made it rich, where they could have run it back with a little bit less fuel, got some more horsepower, and gone quicker.
Which is very much what the drag guys do. You know, you see them out on the deck, and they'll be looking at the first things they look for is the traction meter, and then they also look for the air density, and they're looking to see what they're going to overrun or underdrive, whatever it is that they want to run the blower with, and or fuel loads as well. So pretty much what they were doing yesterday, I suppose, was trying to preempt that, you know. And coming here for the first time, you kind of get a feel for it, I suppose. And then beyond that, you become quite proficient at it, because you kind of know the band that you work within whichever area of altitude you're at. So sounds like the guys have got plenty left in that thing, so that's awesome.
Certainly has, and as I said, it was a great drive there. We only saw like the one lap under pressure yesterday, because as for the National Drivers' Championship sponsored by Battery World, as we've seen, you've got to get points. Every time you put your bum in that boat, you've got to come back with some points. Hot laps are very important. They have now set the grid positions for our heat races coming up today, and of course you've got to do well in your heat races to progress. There'll be a C, B and A main tomorrow, and that's where the money's going to be at tomorrow afternoon. Yeah,
so it's about how you get yourself this weekend into that A group, or B going into A to a point. But yeah, that A group's the group you got to get to. Another very happy camper overnight has been Les Smith from my hometown in Perth, Western Australia. Les has brought the Mad Dog over, and they're in a 6th position after hot laps yesterday. That's a smaller boat with a smaller motor. It's comparable to what Connor Patterson has. It's a small boat compared to these big 480 and 510s. Now, the big news overnight was that we didn't see Odin yesterday, the Constable Brothers racing boat. Unfortunately, they did some major damage on their fire up in the pits yesterday morning. Wow. So somebody has gone back to Sydney overnight, and I didn't get a chance to have a look this morning, but expect to see the Constable Brothers and Odin 510 hopefully back here today. So I've got the thumbs up. So yeah, it looks like the CBR boys are back in town. So that is so typical of the CBR racing team, the guys behind Odin. If they do have a failure, they will do everything possible to get back into the race, and that just shows you how important points are in this National Drivers' Championship.
Well, these guys are pretty dedicated to what they do. You know, you see it in a lot of different sporting facets, but no doubt there would have been, you know, who's driving from what point to where to do the pickup and the crossover to drop off and pick up and run again, you know, to make sure it happens. So that's
well,
awesome.
One of our fellow competitors in the Battery World National Drivers' Championship, Nathan Barry, he's driven up from Sydney, and unfortunately his engine gave some issues in Hay. So somebody's had to go out to Hay and pick Nathan up and bring him out to the circuit. So he's going to be doing some work on his road car this weekend instead of his blown alcohol boat. She's the culprit.
Right, no, that's just how the cookie crumbles, eh? But it is what it is. And, you know, again, I'll reiterate, if you get an opportunity to come down and be part of the action down here live, do that, because the beautiful terraced grass banks that we've got here at the ski club, down on that foreshore area where it's all sand down into the water, it is a lovely part of the world. And if you do get an opportunity to come down, do that. Plenty of catering on today. Big thank you to the Coffee Bank for kicking off early this morning, and they'll be doing the same thing again tomorrow morning. There were a ton of people that were there early to pick up and grab their coffees and get organised early for the day today. And we saw the guys catering yesterday. The crowd that we did have was a reasonable crowd for a Friday, considering, Vaughan, that everybody was probably still working on Friday afternoon. So we're expecting to see a lot more down here today and tomorrow for Saturday, Sunday, and for the money shots over the weekend.
Yes, for sure. And there's a couple of thank yous out there for Rolf Stanich coming all the way over from Adelaide for All the Talk Photography. He'll be doing some fantastic photography work as per usual. So check out All the Talk Photography in the next couple of days for all of the photos from the Mildura Ski Club and the Sunraysia Spectacular. And of course, our live stream host in the GP Hydro live streaming. Make sure you jump on board to GP Hydro live streaming. There is only one link available, and it is on that particular Facebook page, so please don't get scammed into anything else. It has to be from the GP Hydro live streaming. I can see Neil and Paul on the cameras. They're all good to go, in for a big weekend. They do a fantastic job, and so does the boss, the big man himself, Scotty Lambert, sitting down inside the caravan doing our direction and making sure that live feed is constant and perfect for all of our clients that are joining us here for the Sunraysia Spectacular. Whether this may be our first race out on the water, we're not sure. And our third commentator has made an entry into the building from Harrison Motorsports, Paul Cunningham. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Vaughan. How are we?
Great, mate.
I see you up and early. I was on Facebook this morning, and you got the sun rising here at the Sunraysia Mildura Ski Club. It's beautiful.
It certainly was. Some really picturesque shots taken this morning with the sun coming up over the trees down. John, what direction is that down there?
So
that'd be the east. Yeah, the east.
It is towards the east, but also it's upstream, so everything obviously flowing down this way. Yep. So many Mildura 100s we've started from this location here over the years, over Easter. Our power sports promotion is something that if you've not been to the region before, it's something to come down and have a look at. We run about 4 or 5 events that are all glued, that are motorsport events, a drag meet, a supercross meeting, the boats, and a raft of other things that we also hold. So sounds like we're about ready to get into racing, guys. So let's get started with our juniors this morning.
All right, first out is Attitude, Tough Luck, A Little Nuts and Fugitive. So we will get ready for race number 1 for the Land Transport National Drivers Championship for our juniors, the future of powerboat racing. And don't be surprised, in 10 or 15 years' time, you see some of these kids behind the wheel of forced induction boats or some tunnel boats. They will take the big steps during their career, but this is where it all begins with Formula Future. J1s, J2s and J3s. The J1s, the smaller class, the first category for a young driver, a 6.6 engine on the back of their little boats. Then they step up to the J2s, a 9.9, and then once they get to, I believe it's 12, they can move up to the J3s, which are the 15 horsepowers. And then if you still like the little boats, you can take the little bit of a jump up to a 25 horsepower, who are also on display here at the Sunraysia Spectacular for 2025. Race underway and down into the corner for the first time. We'll pick them up on their way back. So we've got a big race on our hands at the moment as they go down the back straight for the first time. I can see that's JD Land in second place. A Little Nuts. I think that's Maxie Cameron out there.
Well, we've got Land Transport on duty today with Tough Luck out there at the moment. JD Land in the seat, so having a good old pedal. Land Transport, gee, they've got a few boats on offer this weekend and plenty of merchandise to go with it.
Certainly do. Look at this race here as they come across the line to reel off lap number 2. I think that's 007.
It is the 007. It is indeed.
That's Little Fugitive, is it?
Fugitive is the orange one.
The orange
086.
So that is Flynn Walker coming past. But a great battle up the front there. And JD Land just slipping back now about 10-15 metres off the stern of that boat in front. Who's got the best attitude as they come down the back straight here? You can see the boat out in front flying across the top of the water. Not much of that hull making contact with the water at the moment, which is what you want. The less hull in the water, the less drag there is. And drag equals friction. So that you can lessen the friction, the faster the boat will go across the top of the water. But then they start to develop a problem with porpoising, where the front of the boat likes to bob up and down. These guys and girls do not have any automatic trim on board the boats. They must shift their body to settle the boat down. Now you can see that boat out in front perfectly set up and balanced as he comes across the line. One lap to go here for race number 1 for our juniors.
The Attitude out there racing away. Owner Peter Millington and the driver Lucas behind the wheel. The crew's mum and dad doing a great old job. Mercury 15 horsepower. The hull is a Medill and the sponsors are Arcadia Transport, Watertight Plumbing, and great achievement. First place at the recent Windsor Spectacular is up there at the best. Home state, New South Wales, and the favourite course, and I love this course, it's Dargle. So 6 years racing, and he's a plumber. So good on the Attitude out there and having a real crack. So good to see. And then the tough luck, JD Land behind the wheel. The crews, Ben, Bill and Shez. So well done to the crew. Need a good crew, 15 horsepower. Home club is the VSBC, and it is a wing design boat. So good on that. And as I said, Land Transport is sponsoring the juniors this weekend, and a big shout out to them. They have a big merchandise tent, which they needed a truckload of stuff to bring in, and they brought it all with them. So good on Land Transport.
Well, there's your checkered flag, boys, and completion of that one.
J63 coming across in third. And I think this is Flynn Walker coming out now to finish. That's Fugitive, yep. Coming across the line now to accept the checkered flag. So race 1 for round number 2 of the Land Transport National Drivers Championship for our juniors. One and done. So straight away, we've got the next heat ready to go. And this is what I love about the juniors. Sometimes they show up the parents and the other adult racers at a race meeting. They are super switched on, these kids. They are itching to get out there. You can see Crackerjack out there. It's Poison Ivy down from the Queensland, or the Gold Coast Powerboat and Sports Club. You see Stuart Artie down there and looking after his granddaughter, Ivy. Because Ivy been running now for about 12 months and has now stepped up into the 15 horsepower category. Who else do we have out there? Little Fugitive. So this one should be Crackerjack, Intruder, Shore Play, She's a Rival, and Little Menace.
Yeah, so good to see the guys played and ready to go. In this one we find the Jack Hinton piloted Crackerjack, with the crew obviously being mum and dad.
Yeah, how's the paint job on that boat? The J25 down there in the middle?
Mercury 15 horsepowering. This one coming out of the Hawkesbury area by the look of this, Hawkesbury Plumbing and Drainage. Constable Brothers Racing, MJH Transport and JD's Mobile Marine. Major achievements for that boat for the Crackerjack. Second in the Australian J3 title in 25 and second in the new J3 title in 24. Looks like his favourite course and event is Yarrawonga. Obviously, hometown is Currajong in New South Wales. Been racing for 6 years and an apprentice plumber. So definitely got the fluids in the system. He loves racing. Can't wait to step up into Dad's sailboat at some point. So good luck to Jackie Hinton today in the Crackerjack.
They all want to step up into the sailboats, mate.
Yeah, they
Don't worry
certainly
about that.
do.
That's what they're all about. That's what it's all about. No netball here, no cricket, no footy. This is what it's all about.
She's a rival, the Emerson Walker, and that boat has a very distinctive paint job on it, replicating John Backer's rival. And Emerson's father is the crew chief for John Backer, and that's why she's called She's a Rival for Emerson Walker. Beautiful paint job. Same with Jack's boat as well. So hopefully we can get...
Yeah, just off air for a second there. Sorry about that. Little Menace, Jet Howard behind the wheel, Mercury 15. Owner is Christine Howard at J3. VSBC Wingboat, sponsored by the Nan, the Pop, the Dad and Ken. So he's new to racing, which is fantastic. First season out on the water. So first race this weekend in the new boat. And commentary is excited to be in the Junior NDC, sponsored by Land Transport. So the Little Menace with Jet Howard behind the wheel. The Little Menace will be out of pole number 5. The white flag is now up, so we'll be getting a start in a moment. The Crackerjack, the Intruder, the short play. She's a Rival, and the Little Menace to lead us out in heat number 1B for the NDC Junior Formula Futures.
A bit of an innovation for the junior racing over the last couple of race meetings is that they now run a coloured cover over the top of the engine cowl. So hopefully we can get hold of the colours, which will make it a lot easier for us up here in commentary. And they're small enough, and it's very, very hard to see, you know, who is who. Standouts. It's good when there's different colour boats like this particular heat race is okay. But when they're all white, it makes it very, very hard. That's young Jack out in front. And Emerson Walker's off to a good start as well as they head down into the sun down there on the eastern end of the Mildura Ski Club circuit. And we'll pick them up as they come out of the tree and down the back straight. There's a good battle on for second and third. I think that's Jack Hinton out in front. Yes, that's Crackerjack out in front, but look at the battle on for second and third. Then we go back a long way for fourth and fifth. They have it stuck together as well. So I think that must be... That's Emerson Walker up in third place, I think. Green boat. She's the rival.
Yeah, she's actually making some ground on the outside now, maybe moving into second position. She's a rival there. Emerson is starting to power through the pack here as we head down and finish a lap number 1. Yes, it is definitely she's a rival there. Beautiful paint job.
You see, they're so even, aren't they, with these 15 horsepower? There's not a lot that you can actually do to these engines because it's a controlled category. They are allowed to swing some different propellers on the bottoms of these boats, but that's about it. Maybe adjust the timing, but as far as mechanically, you're not allowed to bore them out or put lightweight pistons or anything like that on them. And now we've got a good battle for first and second. Emerson just falling back a little bit now, but Jack's under a little bit of pressure now as they go down the back straight for the second time. So a Little Menace, She's a Rival, Sure Play, Intruder and Crackerjack. We come down to yellow flag, 1 lap to go here in race number 2 on your Super Saturday here at the Sunraysia Spectacular. So now we have a new leader with 1 lap to go. Orange and black boat. Then we go back to Jack Hinton and Emerson Walker in 3rd place. A good run from Emerson, keeping up with the boys in front, and they have pulled right away from these last 2. So we need to be careful that Daniel Shaw is also in a black and green boat as well. And coming across the line, a checkered flag. It's going to go to the orange and black boat. I think that was 222. Then we go back to Jack Hinton in Crackerjack. The J04 takes out 3rd place. The light blue cowling going through, and then finish with the purple cowl. And that looks like Emerson Walker down the back, so I'd say that was Shaw play. Daniel Shaw up into 3rd place. So a good run for race number 2. There's another heat race to come up. I can see Charlie Chap down there in Popeye.
We're trying to work them out.
In J44, down from the South Queensland Powerboat Club. Little Fugitive is out there as well. I'll try and pick up who the driver of the green boat is. Xavier Walker out there in Fugitive as well in the 86. So this one will be Epic, Little Untidy, Levi Witten, Poison Ivy with Ivy Mack, V&V, and Reckless. Reckless driven by Caden Thomas. Caden is one of the rising stars of the sport. He's pretty eager, determined, and ready to make his mark on the National Drivers' Championship for our juniors, brought to you by Land Transport. So Levi Witten will be one to look out for with this one. In A Little Untidy. Of course, Levi is Dave Bishow's Spannerman, and a big shout out to Dave Bishow. I know you'll be tuning in through the day, checking out all of the action here from the Sunraysia Spectacular. Dave is driving his 1927 Austin this weekend at a, I think it was called Tarrangower. You guys will be familiar with that territory. It's somewhere near Mildura, not Mildura, Bendigo.
Yeah, correct, Central Victoria.
Yep, so there's a big hill climb event up there this weekend, and Bishow's decided to take his little toy for a bit of a run. Yeah, that's it, the cowling covers. Yeah, they're all different colours.
So this one here, we've got the Epic, the Little Untidy, the Poison Ivy, the V&V, and the Reckless. So, of course, the Poison Ivy out there is Race Tech Boats is the owner. Ivory Mack is behind the wheel. J3, of course. The crew, Stuart, Crystal, Ashley, good shout out to them. It's a Race Tech Tennessee, and the sponsors are Race Tech Boats, SEQ Auto Parts, Upholstery, Anthony Rural Services, and the major achievement, J2 champion at the Lockyer Power Fest 24 and 25.
Yeah, had a great run up
all
there.
the way out of Queensland, Hoya. And the favourite course, Windsor. It is one of the best.
Now, we've been given some updated information here, boys, for our next race. And I'm just trying to make it a bit bigger so that we can actually see it. There we go. Rightio. So we have V&V in the yellow, Poison Ivy. She will have the green cowling. Epic will be in light blue. And Levi Whitten in a Little Untidy. He has the purple cowling as well. So that'll make life a lot easier for us if I can just keep my phone in that position. The sun is playing games with us up here big time.
All right, the Reckless is out there as well. Caden Thomas. Yeah, thank you.
Reckless.
Manufacturers a wing boat and all the way from Adelaide. So we've got some really
Yeah, the kids have
interstate
come from
competitors.
everywhere.
They're loving it.
They travel just as like their parents do. They're coming down from Queensland, from Adelaide. As I said yesterday at the Sunraysia Spectacular this year, every mainland state is represented. Unfortunately for the two territories in Canberra and the Northern Territory, we don't have any competitors, and nobody has made the move up from Tasmania this weekend. Although I did see Chris Palmer yesterday, the driver of Outlaw, and he'll be getting ready for the big Worlds program that's going to take place in Berry on the Australia Day, a long weekend coming up in 2026. And we are underway with race number 3. And it's the purple cowling out in front of Levi Whitten. He's going to take the lead down into turn number 1 for the first time. And those cowling covers are great, but when you're looking into the sun and there are 200 metres down the road, it makes it very difficult. We'll pick them up as they come past us on the back straight. But it is Levi Whitten in a Little Untidy out in front, although he's now coming under pressure from that boat right out wide, just about skirting the shoreline over the other side. So the second place, I think that is a red, looks like, yeah, it's pink, I think. And that will be Reckless, Caden Thomas. He's actually driven straight around the outside of Little Untidy and now takes the lead into turn number 2 for the first time. Then we go back to the light blue, and that is Epic in third place. So Caden Thomas.
Thomas, of course, hailing out of Adelaide in South Australia, a 5-year veteran. Can you believe that? 5 years already that he's been racing for in the junior class and running behind that 15 horsepower. So the Reckless going beautifully this morning in the J3s. His home club, obviously the ASBC, so charging along beautifully here this morning in Mildura.
So Ivy Mack just coming past. I think she's in 4th place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, for Ivy Mack.
And of course the Caden Thomas boat's a wing design, boys, so very popular in the J3 classes, going along nicely. J3 is going beautifully this morning with the yellow being waved at this point. So another lap to cover yet. Well, Paul, looks like we're able to get back underway with some commentary again now that they're finished with their driver briefing. Looks like they're out on the circuit now.
Yes, they are indeed. Little Liberty, unfortunately, didn't make the start lines, sitting out there in the middle of the track with McKinley Land behind the wheel. And unfortunately, 9.9 Mercury engine has not fired up in this particular one.
Wow, that's not a good sign. Behind there, or in amongst this one, is the Mad Dog Racing, which is the Harrison Merritt boat. Another of our J2s running a 9.9 Merc in this one with a wing hull. Looks like these picks up some sponsors through Planet Stairs, DTG, and also good old mum and dad thrown in there. And of course, his first race ever. Excited and that it's on the Murray, and he's loving his life out there in the Mad Dog Racing. So good work from Harrison Merritt out there at the moment.
Yes, we've got a couple of newbies. So Little Liberty, this is their second race. Very excited. And of course, the Mad Dog Racing, Harrison behind the wheel, first race. So a couple of rookies out there having their first pedals in the juniors.
And Sienna King the same as well in the 9.9 in the running cool out there. Second Australian Formula 1 Championship in 24 and first in the Australian Formula Powerboat Championships in 25. Looking forward to the first race in Mildura. Sienna will be stepping up into the J3s in the next few months. So good luck to Sienna in the running cool. Obviously out amongst that one as well.
It's good to see. And it's good to see they're all thanking mum and dad in the paperwork as well there as their major sponsors. It's pretty good and pretty cool of them to come along, and we've got about 19, 20 juniors this weekend, which is a huge field. It's just the sport is growing and growing and growing, and the grassroots is very, very important to us, and we do appreciate how much time and effort goes into putting these boats together. Next one up will be the Popeye, the Little Fugitive, and Cool Runnings in this next one. The Popeye, of course, a little bit different. Looks like it's got a nice little timber deck on it. It's very, very impressive. It's going to be running the grey cowl for this weekend. So the Popeye, the Little Fugitive, and the Cool Runnings will be heading up a 1E.
Rightio, guys, while I've got a moment, I'll quickly go through this. The following drivers are required for a breath test. The following drivers are required for a breath test. If you could head over straight away, that'd be greatly appreciated. Here are the names. Brett Ramsey, Dennis Pasala, Scott Patterson, Brett Shepherd, Baxter Ramsey, Lewis Mills, Glenn Roberts, Cameron Allen, and Levi Witten. I'll go through the names again, guys. Brett Ramsey, Dennis Pasala, Scott Patterson, Brett Shepherd, Baxter Ramsey, Lewis Mills, Glenn Roberts, Cameron Allen, Levi Witten. Those drivers required to breath testing as soon as possible, guys. If you could do that, that'll help us no end. And it'll get you where you need to be fairly quickly as well, guys, and ready to roll. If you can head over towards the breatho, that'd be greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you.
Well, in doing that, and we'll just take your seat. So you better hurry on over. Yeah, it's going to help.
Hey guys, while we got a quick moment, it would be remiss of me not to go through at least a couple of our sponsors while we got to some houseboats coming through. Our naming rights sponsor this weekend is the team at GDS Freight Management, and GDS are one of Australia's leading transport and logistic companies, specialising in national freight forwarding and temperature-controlled deliveries. These guys were established in Mildura in 1980 under the guise of the Matthews family, and of course have been operating out of Golgol in the Greater Mildura region since 1980. GDS operates a modern fleet and offers warehousing with supply chain solutions and dedicated freight services to the beverage, food and FMCG industries. Big thank you to Damien Matthews and all of the team at GTS Freight Management for your involvement here this weekend. Our major sponsors, as I spoke to yesterday, Baldwin Boats, family-owned marine manufacturer with over 40 years of experience in building, servicing and selling high-performance boats, based right here in Mildura, thanks to Chris, of course, and the team there at Baldwin Boats in Mildura. The Mildura Rural City Council, of course, is the governing body here in the Sunraysia region. They provide infrastructure, community services and tourism development over an area that covers 22,000 square kilometres. The council supports local events just like the Sunraysia Spectacular, and fostering regional growth and community engagement is their mandate. We must also thank the team at the Gateway Tavern. Of course, the Gateway in Mildura, which is a premier local hospitality venue, which features a family bistro, modern sports bar and event facilities, and known for their family-friendly atmosphere, which we all saw last night at the Show and Shine. And a big thank you to the team there for their involvement with that Show and Shine last night. Chris and the team at Transcool Transportable Building and Cool Rooms, thank you so much for your involvement. These guys design and manufacture high-quality transportable buildings and cool rooms for commercial, industrial and event use. Again, based here in Mildura, Transcool's portable offices and accommodation cabins and refrigerated units support all on-site infrastructure and major events nationwide. Thanks also to Medex Medical and Retrieval Services, providing specialist medical support, patient transport and event coverage across Australia. Their experienced doctors, paramedics and nurses deliver advanced medical care and retrieval capabilities, ensuring the highest standard of safety at any event, including this one this weekend. And thanks also to the Custom Air Group, specialising in diesel-powered air conditioning systems and sleeper cab climate controls for heavy vehicles. Their Australia-made systems provide efficient comfort without engine idling, and they use the exclusive Kubota engines and a list of precision engineered components. A big thank you to the Custom Air Group for their involvement. So there's your naming rights sponsor in GDS Freight Management, and our major sponsors that we went through with Baldwin Boats, Mildura Rural City Council, Gateway Mildura, Transcool Transportable Buildings and Cool Rooms, Medex Medical and Retrieval Services and Custom Air Group for being involved here this weekend for the 2025 Sunraysia Spectacular.
We absolutely thank all of our sponsors, very prestigious, and thank them for coming on board and helping out with such a great event. We've got Brett Nidri in the BNR Racing on the water. We've got the Image on the water, also looking to have a bit of a pedal before the racing starts. I can see the Odeon here is now on the ramp as well, and the Supernova. So a couple of the heavy hitters about to have an early morning run. We've also got the time trials finished now for the juniors, the Land Transport juniors, and they'll be heading into their actual NDC heats for the day. So plenty to come, but Brett Nidri's sitting in the water there. He had a very late run yesterday afternoon and going out early this morning, just trying to find the tune-up and boat setup that he's looking for the weekend. As we said, the Constable boys, they've had a pretty big day, pretty big night, travelling back and forward to Sydney with parts coming and flying them in and driving down and coming back. And the 510 Odeon, so looking forward to seeing how they go, because I don't think they made it off the bank yesterday.
No, they didn't. Unfortunately, the boat failed up on the trailer while they were warming it up, getting it ready for their practice session. But good to see that the Constable Brothers racing team, their dedication just speaks volumes about the determination of this team. A brand new engine set up on board as well. So it's a Noonan engine. It's a Hemi, I believe. So something different for the National Drivers' Championship, another different type of engine out there as well. It's still the twin turbocharged V8. And as you said, Craig Lewis down there in Image, and BNR, Brett Nidri going out for a run. Just chasing a bit of boat setup. I had a chat with Brett this morning. I initially thought it may have been an engine issue yesterday, but being Brett, of course it wasn't the engine. He is the engine whisperer.
He's got a few engines out there this weekend, of course, and one of these engines is actually sitting top of the table in the National Drivers' Championship, sponsored by Battery World, being Tate Ramsey. He's on 434 points as before yesterday's time trials, which we haven't got a confirmation of extra points on that as yet. Connor Patterson's into second and Blake Ramsey into third, and Scotty Cleaver is in fourth place. But yes,
it's pretty close at the top, isn't it? One mistake and it could be very, very costly.
Yes, indeed, and we heard from Mark Doucher yesterday. Unfortunately, he's not able to run this weekend, but he said completely different driving style in your racing compared to your hot laps. He said so. Sometimes the times on the sheet may not accumulate into your actual heat time. So looking forward to seeing what goes on there.
As usual, the Battery World National Drivers' Championship full of drama. It started from round one in Yarrawonga and then went up to Lockyer Valley and Lake Dyer for the round two. In round three, we had those floods that affected Sydney just a week or so out from round three. And it all comes down to this. This is the last day of school for the Battery World National Drivers' Championship. Of course, today's action is our heat racing. So they'll each compete in 2 heats today, and then they're back tomorrow for the C, B and A finals coming up. And we will announce the winner of the 2025 Battery World National Championship right here tomorrow. Make sure you do not miss out on tomorrow's action. It's going to come down to those final races, and the points are very, very close. We'll keep you abreast of the point scores as we progress through the weekend, and keep your eye on your favourite driver. Don't forget that the pit area is open as long as you do have enclosed shoes. You must have enclosed shoes to walk around in the pit area there. Go and have a chat to the guys and have a look at their boats. And I'm sure they'll tell you everything you need to know about your favourite driver. Get some photos taken up there as well. There's lots of merch out there as well, including Corey Marlin's got some great stuff for Sick Puppy and his 6-litre Lewis boat. As we see one of our forced induction boats. This is Brett Nidry, the orange and white BNR, and Craig Lewis in the image.
Of course, Craig unfortunately stopped in his race yesterday afternoon, so hopefully they've sorted out the problem, and he was running quite nicely in his heat until it stopped. Of course, we saw yesterday heat 1A and 1B of the Kavanagh Auto Parts 6-litre National Drivers' Championship yesterday, so Craig unfortunately did have a little issue, so hopefully he'll be right to go today. Of course, his Clyde Lewis trophy is on for grabs this afternoon or tomorrow, so looking forward to seeing them. But out on the water now, Brett Nidry in the BNR machine. As I said, he pulled at least 3 to 4 trials yesterday afternoon. He was the last competitor on the water and first out this morning, so looking for some horsepower and some setup and more around the boat rather than the engine, as he said to us this morning.
So it might be a timely time to just let everybody know if this is your first time to a forced induction event. The noise can be very loud and be very quick and abrupt. So if you do have small children, please protect their ears. It's going to get very loud when we've got 4 forced induction boats out on the water. So just for your own safety and for the health and protection of your children, give them some ear protection and look after them while you're here. Don't forget to slip, slop, slap as well. We're doing an occupational health and safety area now. Everybody, that sun has got a lot of bite in it. It was fairly warm up here yesterday, around about 26 degrees we're looking for today. Light winds and perfect conditions for powerboat racing here at the Sunraysia Spectacular for 2025. So Brett Nidri and Craig Lewis out on the water. Lewis down at the western end, Nidri coming down the back straight. Get a big gunnel slap there for Brett Nidri. Boat getting very loose and out of the water there. It came down on the right hand side, gunnel really pushing. Even this is a practice session. Boat jumping, dipping and diving out of the water. Now it's going right down the main street. Looks a lot better that time through. The same with Craig Lewis as well. He's bouncing around over the back straight there, coming over his own wash. Let's see what happens with Nidri this time. Stands on it, gets hard on the cab plate as he flies down the back straight and backs out of it. So that was a fairly frenetic little practice session there, PC.
Yeah, Brett had it really wound up, didn't he? He
wasn't holding back at all.
He's definitely, well, he's a competitor, mate. He goes out there and he's been searching. He had 4 runs yesterday, including the last run of the day. So he's coming out this morning looking for some setup, and that looked pretty sharp, to be fair.
Was Brett been away from the sport for some time and making a return in 2025? Always seems to put his customers first, and he's got a lot of work on the board. It's not just powerboat motors he builds sprint car engines, burnout cars, drag car engines. There's not a lot that the guy can't build.
No, he's in amongst it all. He's got quite a few customers he's actually racing against this weekend as well. So, and he's venturing into Grand Prix hydroplane again too. So it's fantastic to see, along with the Tate Ramsey and the guys put up on Facebook. They brought the boat out for New Zealand. So looking forward to seeing that somewhere around about maybe February next year. They've got a little bit of work to do to get the fit out done for that particular boat. But
hopefully it'll be ready for Yarrawonga.
I don't know.
At the EC Griffiths Cup.
It'll be there. That will definitely be ready for that one. So they'll need a little bit of test time. But Brett being a world champion, Griffith Cup holder in a Grand Prix hydroplane, it might take him long, but it might take Tate a little bit of time just to get the feel for moving from a displacement into a hydroplane.
Good to see the Supernova on the water this morning too, guys. Some issues yesterday with that boat. They got it down as far as the deck here, but didn't quite get it to run. But Vaughan, it looks pretty solid this morning, so let's hopefully see if Scotty can get a pretty good day out of it today and tomorrow, eh?
Yeah, the Supernova with Scotty Cleaver making the move over from ski racing to forced induction racing. This is the ex-Rob Pasala boat, the Duggan Engineering boat. And just down there, he hasn't really leaned on it yet. Of course, you've got to get all the temperatures and pressures up to where they be, or where they should be, before you start to lay it hard. But you're starting to wind it up. I reckon next time past us, on that start-finish line, he'll be fully at the floorboard with that throttle.
And Scotty's one of these guys, he just loves competition. All he wants to do is get out and go at it. And trust me, he'll be on it really hard at the moment he can. So we'll keep our eye on the Supernova circuits through.
The first year into the Battery World National Drivers' Championship for Scotty Cleaver. I think he's sitting in 4th position. So a fantastic debut year for the Cleaver family. And Scott, as you said, is a real professional in everything he does. He takes his racing very seriously, and from what I can see, and I've had a couple of chats with Scott, he's a very methodical thinker. So yes, he is actually sitting in 4th place with Brent Lewis in position, not that far behind. So he's up there in amongst the top runners of the Battery World National Drivers' Championship.
He's been super consistent. He's really just brought it on in the past 12 months, coming out of ski racing. Been really sensible in the way he's approached his racing indeed. The boat itself is extremely well presented. They've done a lot of work in the engine area there, but he's in 4th place at the moment, and consistency and bringing up the speed, race in, race out, and it's done a fantastic job. I know he's been coached by Robert Pasala as well, helping him behind the wheel. So Rob himself has won many races, including the Melton Gold Cup on numerous occasions.
Here we go, boys. The Odin 510. Unfortunately for this boat, had a failure yesterday while on the trailer. Didn't even make it to the boat ramp. The boys have worked until 1 o'clock this morning with parts being delivered from Sydney late yesterday and into last night. And it's great to see the CBR team, the Odin 510, with Ryan Constable back on the water as he chases down the 2025 National Drivers' Championship, brought to you by Battery World.
So see Image being towed in, so unfortunately the Lewis team is being towed in for the 2nd time this weekend. So not sure. It looked like it was going quite well in practice, but has come to a stop at the end of the course there. So hopefully nothing too major. They have been chasing a couple of gremlins all weekend.
Well, Craig's driving with a very sore shoulder as well, so I don't think that was the problem. It's definitely a mechanical issue on board, but so far so good for Ryan Constable as he comes out of turn number 2.
Taking his time just to get everything up to where it needs to be born before he starts to really throw the hammer at it.
This is a brand new engine combination as well. I believe it's a Noonan Hemi. The boat just looks so smooth. It just looks very threatening with those colours. It looks just aggressive, and it's not even going fast. But when this thing does go fast, Ryan is a fantastic driver as well. He's one of the aggressive drivers behind the wheel.
It's funny, Vaughan, you watch it just going gently through, hopping and doing what it does. It's a bit like a sprint car in a way, isn't it? You know, like they always look clumsy until you throw the hammer at the pedal. And the moment the thing actually stands up and does what it needs to do, it goes straight like a bullet, you know, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now.
Does. So caution lights are on, and we talked about this new safety innovation. There we go. It comes across the start finish line and blows down into turn number 1. Off it fairly early.
This back straight will be worth watching now.
Now he'll light it up all the way down the back straight. And that is the Odin that we're more accustomed to seeing. A very fast, slick boat through the water. As I said, Ryan drives this thing.
Tight turn, beautiful.
Oh, here we go, right up on the gas plate. Wow. That has some mumbo. So well done to the CBR team on getting Odin back here. And it's standing up right out again. Get a bit of a gunnel slap there. Trying to walk its way down the back straight. And I think he's going to call it a day. But that's a good run there for the CBR team.
You'd be happy with that, Vaughan.
Yeah, after the drama.
Doesn't that smell good, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Might be running a bit rich. But,
well, I suppose, you know, a fat engine to start off with is probably the right way to go before you start to thin it out and do what you need to do.
Especially when you worked all night long.
Correct.
So I know they would be stoked with that, because there's nothing worse than working all night long and the nerves of putting it in the water and going, God, let's do this 4 laps and get back to the bank and check out the data. So, and that was super fast.
Absolutely.
Paul, I don't know whether you were able to hear us this morning, but I had a chat with Brett Shepherd last night, and he was saying that that boat could actually go quicker. They got the calculation wrong as far as the fuel setting. Ideally, a forced induction boat will run at its max at around about 600 feet as far as altitude. They set the boat up for 1,000, but by the time they got it onto the water, the atmospheric conditions had changed and had gone out to 2,000. So the boat was actually running fat. And he's come back after an 18-month break, puts it in second place in hot laps. So if it can go faster, we're in for a treat today with Unleashed.
Oh, yes. It's, the guys monitor the weather. That's for certain. They've all got little weather stations with them, making sure that they're on top of it through the day, making some changes as the day will get hotter and hotter and hotter, and we're up to about 36 tomorrow, I think about 28 today. So, yeah, the guys are always chasing the horsepower through the weather and the conditions.
Just watching Ryan getting out of the boat there. I don't know whether, Ryan, you can hear us, mate, but are you happy with that run? Is it all good, Ryan? Yep, thumbs up from Ryan. So, yep, all good to go. Well done, guys. We'll see you later on this morning for our heat races today for the 2025 Battery World National Drivers' Championship, Ryan Constable and the Odin 510.
All right, guys, we are down with Brett Ramsey. Mate, tell us, what's been going on this weekend?
Hey mate, so down at Gateway Hotel for a bit of a show and shine with the Melton Runabout and Ski Boat Club National Drivers' Championship meeting at Mildura. So yeah, thought we'd come up for a play in the sun. It's nice and warm, and hopefully we have some fun this weekend.
Looking forward to it, mate. Look, Ravage was at Upper Hawkesbury not that long ago, and you had a little bit of a drama. In the meantime, you've done some work in the off seasons. Oh, sorry, not off season, but in between races. Brett, tell us what's been going on.
So we went home, did the checks on the boat, everything was good. Thursday night prior, or last week, we went to start it in the shed with the intention of testing on the weekend, like last weekend, and realised we had a little wiring gremlin which had sort of plagued us a little bit since we put this engine in the boat. It's a 12-year-old wiring harness, and it just, we had an issue there somewhere that we couldn't pin, doing normal fault finding. At that point, Dale Hallier sort of said, well, can you get the boat to me? And 24 hours later, my mate Glenn had the boat to him, and we rewired everything from the sail back, put a new ECU in the boat, and then, put it on the water this morning and got a tune in it, and it seems to be happy as.
So tell us, mate, obviously with the new tune in the boat, you're obviously doing changes, props, anything?
Correct,
any adjustments?
Yeah. Look, we've still got a long way to go with the boat setup, but trying to get boost into it has been challenging. It should be really easy with an engine like this, and that's been challenging, but we've now got it, eating some boost, which is great. Just now need to sort of pick the boat up out of the water a little bit with cab plate adjustments. So, that's basically sort of where we're at the moment. Is it sort of showed that we're doing a bit over 120 mile an hour today, which, early days we're happy enough with. But it's very flat in the water, so now we need to just pull its nose up and, hopefully we can get a bit more speed out of it then.
Fantastic stuff, mate. And got any sponsors that you'd like to give a plug to?
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, Mansfield Pump Shop and Electrical, and prior to Windsor, it was Dave from Connolly Craft. He did a heap of work on the boat fiberglass bulkheads-wise, and they did a cracking job, so haven't looked back since. And then this time around, it's Dale from Tune by Dale. He's done an incredible job over the last week in a time frame that is really short. He had everything in stock. He was enthusiastic. He wired at Bathurst Day, and he's been incredible. I really can't thank him enough. My dad's done a heap of work on the boat over the last couple of weeks, just getting little things sort of sorted, fixed, mounted better. New boat on the water, it's always going to have a little list of things that we need to rectify, do, change, make better. But we're all happy. Mum and Dad came up this weekend. Andrew from AF Accessories. His radios are absolutely killer. I can't hear a thing most of the time, and I can hear my guys on the headsets. So, Mum, Dad, wife, kids, everyone like that supports us.
Thank you very much for your time, Brett, and we look forward to seeing Ravage standing up front on the podium.
Thanks, mate.
Try and get our coloured cowlings and a list of those coloured cowlings for you as soon as we can. The little orange boat, last one to leave was Fugitive. So a big field for heat number 1. A little nuts, tough luck, attitude. So as we saw before, they've already gone out for their first run. That's a timing run. And then from then, the decision is made as part of their handicaps. So now that will be a handicap start. So we'll have to wait and see as they come across the line in what order they... Oh, there we go. It's attitude. No, Fugitive will go first. The 23 on 23 seconds. But then it's pretty close for the rest of them, in between 46 to 54 seconds. So this will... There'll be one that'll go first, and then everybody else will be trying to mow down that one.
So for those, Vaughan, that aren't aware, obviously the timing that was done earlier today was to try and set these guys up for a form of what we call a handicap start. So therefore there are separate times that these little tackers will head off on, which is really cool because it evens the racing up no end. So Paul, it'll be awesome to see them get away, and the whole idea of this is to try to get them probably to close off very close at the end of the laps.
Yeah, if they've done the right thing, they'll all should hit the finish line all around about the same time. Yeah. So back in the day, I didn't do a lot of handicap racing myself, I must admit, but back in the day there used to be a little bit of foxing when they used to do the time
sandbagging,
trials.
I used to call it.
Sandbagging, and then there'll be some discussions afterwards with protests, but the juniors don't do that, of course. But
although it's really, really funny, you get to see juniors... classics knowing rules. Any form of junior racing, junior kids get to know the rules so well that they can almost use it to their advantage, which is not a bad thing because it builds competitors that go into senior categories that are so solid in what they do. So this is brilliant to watch. It's a great breeding ground in these J3 racing heats that we see.
Of course, we've got a lot of competitors this weekend in our junior racing. It's proudly sponsored by Land Transport, and they've got some beautiful merchandise down there. So go and see the guys at Land Transport, and thank you very much for their sponsorship, including their bringing all the equipment down from Melbourne. It's been fantastic.
Well, these guys at Land have been around since '84. With over 350 vehicles and a really strong network of depots and the like. You know, that's the reason why they were able to get behind it and do that. So we do thank Land Transport for their connections to this weekend.
All righty, we've got a start here, and I think it is going to be the Fugitive first across the line here. And it is the 086 Fugitive heading down now off a 23-second start. We've got a couple more that will be following through. As I said, I think there's going to be pretty much 5 seconds between everybody else as they head on down.
Looks like they're all mobile now, Paul, and away, which is awesome to see.
So attitude in the dark blue. There we have tough luck in white. A little nuts in light blue. And Fugitive in yellow. Crackerjack in red. Orange is Intruder. Pink is Sure Play. Purple for She's a Rival. And light blue for Little Menace.
Well, lap number 1 is down, and the Fugitive is still holding it out. Still got quite a nice little lead here at the moment, so doing quite well.
Yeah, got away on that 23-second handicap. Second place coming across the line will be JD Land. And then the J63, looks like Shaw Play, Daniel Shaw out there as well. So a good bunch of boats towards the rear of the field, but this is a handicap event, so if the handicappers got it right, they should all cross the line at exactly the same time.
They should be. Oh, they're getting closer and closer up the back straight.
Well, one thing we can say, they are closing the field up now, so the back end is starting to move up a little on the lead guy, so let's keep our eye on that.
So if this Fugitive out in front had a rear vision mirror. There is an absolute party happening in that rear vision mirror at the moment. There's a big gaggle of boats, sub-6 boats trying to chase down Fugitive, who's doing it best to try and hang on here. They probably get the yellow flag this time through, I would say.
Yes.
But now it's really starting to close up now, down into turn number 2 for the penultimate time. And going by this, I think the handicapper's done an outstanding job.
Yeah,
this is going to be a very close finish now.
Well, there's your yellow, so one to travel for them now as they come past us here at the Ski Club club rooms.
It's the 86 from JD Land. JD Land now brings up alongside the Orange Fugitive as they head down into turn number 1 for the last time. The big drag race down the back straight. One mistake from these two out in front, and there are another 5 or 6 boats that will take advantage of that. And it looks like JD Land now out in front by a long way. So something's happened there with the little orange boat, who was our leader early. This is a great way to celebrate the National Drivers' Championship, sponsored by Land Transport, with JD Land doing the business out in front.
Yeah, and going hard at it too, let me tell you. Really making some ground in front now as the remainder of the field push through. The orange there of the Intruder running behind.
I think that's Little Menace in second, the light blue. And we also have Little Nuts out there with light blue as well. So
there's your checkered flag. Let's see if we can't grab them as they come across the line.
A great win for our naming rights sponsor in the Land family, with JD taking out race number 1 here at the Sunraysia Spectacular. And then it is the light blue boat from the pink. And
pink, which is the reckless.
Shaw play, Daniel Shaw.
Yep.
He'll go across in 3rd place. And then a big gaggle of boats to finish off the rest of them. Jack Hindley was out there in Crackerjack as well. Yeah, so many boats out there. It's very, very hard to commentate these little juniors, particularly when they get up towards the sun and that glare coming off the top of the water there. Just having a look at the sky, mate, there are contrails everywhere up there from all of the aircraft heading over the top of Mildura. And if you have a look over on the back straight there at about 50 metres high, you'll see Joe Painter's little drone up there, which is so important for all of our boat racing these days. It's another great innovation into the sport. Make sure that everybody holds their line down there in turn 1, and there's now photographic evidence of it as well. So that's another improvement to powerboat racing over the last couple of years. And Joe and her fleet of drones, they travel all over the east.
This weekend.
Alrighty, we've got a start here, and I think it is going to be the Fugitive first across the line here. And it is the 086 Fugitive heading down now off a 23-second start. We've got a couple more that will be following through. As I said, I think there's going to be pretty much 5 seconds between everybody else as they head on down.
Looks like they're all mobile now, Paul, and away, which is awesome to see.
So Attitude in the dark blue. There we have Tough Luck in white. Little Nuts in light blue. And Fugitive in yellow. Crackerjack in red. Orange is Intruder. Pink is Shore Play. Purple for She's a Rival. And light blue for Little Menace.
Well, lap number 1 is down, and the Fugitive is still holding it out. Still got quite a nice little lead here at the moment, so doing quite well.
Yeah, got away on that 23-second handicap. Second place coming across the line will be JD Land. And then the J63. It's like Shaw play, Daniel Shaw out there as well. So a good bunch of boats towards the rear of the field, but this is a handicap event. So if the handicappers got it right, they should all cross the line at exactly the same time.
Oh, they should be. Oh, they're getting closer and closer up the back straight.
Well, one thing we can say, they are closing the field up now, so the back end is starting to move up a little on the lead guy. So let's keep our eye on that.
Tell you, if this fugitive out in front had a rear vision mirror, there is an absolute party happening in that rear vision mirror at the moment. There's a big gaggle of boats, sub 6 boats trying to chase down fugitive, who's doing it best to try and hang on here. They probably get the yellow flag this time through, I would say.
Yes.
But now it's really starting to close up now, down into turn number 2 for the penultimate time. And going by this, I think the handicapper's done an outstanding job.
Yeah,
this is going to be a very close finish now.
Well, there's a yellow, so one to travel for them now as they come past us here at the ski club club rooms.
It's the 86 from JD Land. JD Land now brings up alongside the Orange Fugitive as they head down into turn number 1 for the last time. The big drag race down the back straight. One mistake from these two out in front, and there are another 5 or 6 boats that will take advantage of that. And it looks like JD Land now out in front by a long way. So something's happened there with the little orange boat, who was our leader early. This is a great way to celebrate the National Drivers' Championship, sponsored by Land Transport, with JD Land doing the business out in front.
Yeah, and going hard. Behind it and helped out. So thank you so much to everybody in council.
Thank you so much. I love where I live, and we on council love where we live, and we hope you get to see a lot more of where we love to live. Thank you.
Good work. Good on you. Helen Healy, our councillor and mayor of the Mildura Rural City region. A wonderful stewardship from her on behalf of the team, looking after what we need to do here in the council area. So Vaughan, what a wonderful place to be, and you can see council right behind it.
Yeah, it's great to have the mayor here this morning, and being a visitor from Perth, first time to the Mildura area, unbelievable, lovely, great spot. So yeah, on my travels, hopefully we'll be able to get back here.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Mayor. As race number 2 is out on the circuit at the moment, and we have in this one Reckless, Epic, Little Untidy, V&V, Poison Ivy, Little Menace, and She's a Rival. And Emerson Walker, she's in She's a Rival. She was first to go on 7 seconds. And then, oh sorry, it was Poison Ivy that went first. Then She's a Rival. Then we will have Little Untidy.
We've got a couple that have been actually sitting quite a long time. 1 minute 2 and 1 minute and 3. That is a long time to be sitting there just thinking about it going, geez, we're going to go. They're up now.
You're watching the boats just disappear down the river, and you're still at idle waiting for the green flag. That's got to be hard stuff.
Almost a lap behind at the start there. So,
they certainly are. So I believe down the back straight now, it's a light blue boat. The light blue will be Little Menace, according to our list. Although we do have 2 out there that are listed down as light blue. So that's Poison Ivy. That's Ivy Mack out in front. She will be our leader at the moment from the 17. The green boat in second place. Then it's the light blue. That's Little Menace. Then we got purple. I think that is coming across. That's She's a Rival. Emerson Walker and She's a Rival. This next one's got a turn of speed happening.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that was sitting down at the 1 minute mark. So I think it's the Epic, I think. Yes, it's the Epic coming through there now. And then the Reckless.
Reckless. And the 130S. And that will leave 1 more to come. that one is red. Don't know. We've got red down as Crackerjack, and he's sitting down there in the boat ramp, so it's definitely not Jack. Out of the last, or out of turn 2, last lap, Ivy Mack out of the Queensland Powerboat and Sports Club. And I can see Mum and Grandad down there getting very, very animated.
Oh, they're giving us away. Come on, Rosé. Keep going, keep going.
Can she hang on? She's probably got 25 metres.
Oh, a little bit of a good lead still. It hasn't changed too much. We're getting a couple of chasers coming down the front straight away now. We've got a couple of the late starters with the handicapping system coming through. It's the Epic, the J22 making. Oh, a bit loose into the breeze.
Just about blew over there, and it's very unusual for a Formula Future to blow over, but it is possible.
Oh, we have seen it. We have seen it. But yeah, no, up the back straight now. We got the Reckless coming through.
And where is our, you see our jet ski on the move there. And looks like we've got red flag.
We have a red flag. So
keeping an eye on our jet ski, and it looks like we have possibly had a blowover down there in turn number 1. Yep, there's one. I can just see the bow of the boat sticking out of the water. Cannot see who that is. Unfortunately, we've got a tree and some bushes in the way. But great response as per usual from our rescue team. Straight onto that boat. So while they perform this little rescue and get the boat back out to the boat ramp, we'll take a short break here at the Sunraysia Spectacular. This is the Land Transport National Drivers' Championship for all of our Formula Futures, the future of powerboat racing. Stick around, plenty more to come your way this morning.
Oh, while we've got a second, I'm going to come over to my friends at Lucas Oils over here. You got away with it yesterday now, didn't you? So you can do it today. So our friends from New Zealand, Lucas Oils, proud sponsor of many boat racing, including the NDC Hydroplane Series later on this year in Glen Maggie and then down at Epiloc. So tell us, you come over from New Zealand, what's your thoughts about displacement racing? Because you're more about the hydroplanes in New Zealand.
You've almost converted me. No, I mean, boat racing in general is pretty cool, really. Anything on water is pretty well supported. So, yeah, no, the displacement stuff's awesome to watch. It's certainly a spectacle. And, yeah, we've got some good friends in amongst it as well. So, yeah, it's a good weekend.
Yeah, it's an awesome weekend. Any favourite boat in the class of the displacements? I know you've probably got a few stickers on a couple of them, but any favourites out there?
Yeah, of course he's a favourite. Unfortunately, he's not here. Well, he's here, his boat's not here. So, I mean, Immortal obviously will always be a favourite. But no, we've got right in behind Tate and Brett in both their boats. So, yeah, we've got 3 of them that we're pretty keen on.
Yeah, that's good. I see you're really hesitant there, so that's good to see. You know, sharing the love across the Lucas Oils family, so that's good news. And New Zealand this year, there's rumours about 13 Grand Prix hydroplanes going to be competing this year.
Yeah, the series is looking pretty exciting back home. Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be quite an interesting season and quite a close racing season too, actually. So, yeah, no, it's looking pretty good.
And from the Australian point of view, we've got probably 5 to 6 Grand Prix hydroplanes going to be at Glen Maggie in November. Looking forward to that. Are you able to come across, or you got other commitments? I think we've got a clash of events, haven't we?
Yeah, well, it's on the same weekend as the opening round in New Zealand, so unfortunately I'll have to stay in New Zealand for that one, but we'll see what we can do as far as Epilog's concerned. And then, of course, we'll be here in droves for the EC Griffith Cup.
Yes, the EC Griffith Cup 2026 at Yarrawonga. A white noise taking out the 25, and I see it's on the back of the shirts with Ricky Howard and Grant Healy, and a shout out to Grant. He's not feeling the best, but he's on the phone yesterday to us saying he'll be at the Griffith Cup. He'll also be at the NDC at Lake Epilog. How many Kiwis are actually coming this year? I think 3 should come. Ken, Jack, and who else?
I mean, obviously we'd love to have David over here as well, but I mean, we've got to be realistic. It's quite a bit of money to get one of those boats over here, so we've committed to getting Ken over, which is probably the most important, I guess, of the lot. So we'll see. Still might be a white boat that wins it, right?
Well, GP1, of course. Yeah, white. It's also got a little bit of Lucas Oils on the side of it as well, so you can't go wrong.
No, it sort of helps when you got Lucas on the right boats, right? So
yeah, exactly. No, we're looking forward to it, and I know the guys have done such a great job travelling throughout the whole of Canada and the US, doing yourselves really proud. Those boats are absolutely smick. I think when you see the photographs of Ken's boat and Jack's boats, they're just amazing, and the way they're presenting themselves across the world, and the way they've competed. They really set the bar really, really high, and probably showing the Canadians and the US guys how to actually go and race.
Yeah, the Lupton family are a great family. They do a lot for the sport. They do a huge amount for the sport overseas in Canada and in the US. And obviously we wouldn't have quite the series we've got in New Zealand without them. So yeah, no, it's great to have them in New Zealand and doing what they do. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, no, they've been proud supporters, and shout out to all the teams over there, and wish you all the best in your series, and looking forward to seeing the guys compete in the 2026 EC Griffith Cup at Yarrawonga.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. It'll be a good weekend.
Thanks very much, Rolf. And ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Our driver back on dry land. And unfortunate is part of our sport, but it's great to see the young guy up and about and taking his first steps on dry land. His boat, unfortunately, being towed back in at the moment. That hopefully not too much work, and we'll get to see the young fella back out again, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit later on today. Well done to our recovery team. Fantastic work as per usual. Just part of some of our army of volunteers that it takes to put on something like the Sunraysia Spectacular, and their work is very much appreciated over the weekend. So not too much longer, and we'll get going with our next heat, or a resumption of this one. I think it'll probably be the next heat. We'll be coming up very shortly here at the Mildura Ski Club. This is the 2025 Sunraysia Spectacular. Early wide exit out of turn number 2. That's going to cost him, but he's kept the boat nice and stable. Great jerky, Ed Bruder. I think that's going to be not far off the money, that one.
Just come in at 35.3. Yep. So Bruder's come in at 35.3. I think his second turn cost him a little bit, carried a lot of speed, and went wide through the exit. So for the Bruder, it is a 35.3. So Rastus now still holding true here at the 33.3, as we see Corey Marlin making his way out in the sick puppy. And of course, Marlin with Madness, of the Warlord, EC Griffith Cup World Champion, just a legendary family in the sport, and it's great to see Corey out here in the sick puppy. Corey was having a little bit of a pedal in the 1.6 class at Yarrawonga, and
Fly.
we're going to say that just yet. We're going to wait for the weekend. We'll pump him up, but
Sorry, Paul, but I've already had a crack at him this morning.
I was the one that strapped him in, and I said to him before he did it, I said, mate, the wind up that back chute is pretty bad. He goes, don't worry, Grant Harrison told me you could never blow one of these over. And so it's all Grant's fault.
I tell you, he is one of the most exciting young guys in our sport, and he, of course, was the youngest Australian person to win the 5.2 litre category of the Australian Championship. He's got a fair pedigree to go up against. Of course, Troy drives Madness in the forced induction races. He also races the hydroplane Warlord, who we saw at Yarrawonga. He's a UIM world record holder. So I tell you, if this young kid could be a third as good as his old man, it's going to be an awesome effort.
Hopefully
by the
the
time
Epic
he's
will be
25.
okay. 2C coming up. Popeye,
Doing
the little
a,
fugitive, the
fantastic
Cool Runnings, the
reputation,
Mad Dog, the
and,
White
he's been
Knuckles,
driving this boat
the Running
very,
Cool,
very well indeed. So,
and the Little Liberty, which
the last one out will
did
be
make a
Ryan
start in the first
McIntyre into the
time
very,
trial,
very
so
impressive
hopefully
lock and load. He'll
can't
be
see it
the
out there
one
at the minute,
after
but
we've seen the good run from
stay tuned.
Looking at him down there at the moment.
Good little bit of retrieval work. Good work to the rescue guys. Thank you
There's a
very
couple
much.
of different design hulls out there too, isn't there, Paul? You got the winged hulls, which are probably the latest and greatest, but there's the old displacement type hull out there as well. I can see number J7 sitting down there. That's a standard displacement, but these wing boats, and they've even got the little wings, like the vertical wings right down towards the back, either side of the motor.
Yeah, we've got a Seabold out there, we've got a Medill out there, we've got quite a few different, we've got a King's Hull even. So we've got just losing on my information as the breeze picks it up.
One of the most exciting prospects in
Adam's test and
Australian
tag, for
powerboat
example,
racing.
Adam
This
Smith,
kid
he's
knows
running a
one
Seabold.
speed only,
We've got
100%.
a Medill Hole with the Attitude and Fed. We've got a King's Hole with Cool Runnings with Andrew King with Jacob King behind the wheel. So yeah, quite a few.
You can see the amount of speed that he had through turn number one. Settles the boat beautifully. Look at that. Very, very quick run down the back straight for young Corey Marlin in Sick Puppy. Let's see whether he can replicate it again. Holds the throttle, keeps it nice and close up against the pins. So this is going to be a quick one.
That's going to be another fast one, boys, by the look of it. That was beautifully pedalled down into that first turn. And then the way he gathered speed down there and how tight he came off those boys down the bottom there, this is going to be a crack of time to have a look at.
We got the news through.
There it is. The 33-1 by the look of it, guys. For the Sick Puppy with Corey Marland, a 33-1, brilliant run. Look at this, locked and loaded. Last chance to crack the 33-1 today for us here this afternoon.
Yeah, so our calculations, Corey Marlin goes to the top by 0.2 of a second.
Correct.
Erastus. So great effort, as we said, one of the most exciting prospects in Australian powerboat racing. And he's going to be one to keep an eye on, not only this weekend at the Sunraysia Spectacular, but any race that Corey Marlin enters. Of course, the guys come down from the Gold Coast. You can see Troy on the back of the trailer there just giving his opinion of turn number 2. And we saw the boat just come out of the water just a fraction, but overall a fantastic effort there by the Marlin family. Sick Puppy, Corey Marlin.
If you can have a look now, nice gentle pace down the back straight there to keep the water flat as he heads off up into the top corner.
See the guy coming, or you can see the waves coming across. That's from Corey coming back in. So that's another thing that you've got to deal with.
All right, guys, we're down here with Blake Ramsey, owner and driver of Destiny. Blake, tell us what's been going on.
What's been going on? Well, we had out of practice and hot laps today at the Mildura Ski Club. I think there's 14 entrants. We had an average practice. It was pretty rough there. There was a few boats on the course at different speeds, which didn't really help us get an idea of the I guess, how the boat was performing, at flat out. So at a second practice, boat felt pretty good. We went down on a pulley, put a bit more power into it. Went out for hot laps, and I think the numbers say I'm about 5th or something like that. It felt really good. I had to get out of it a couple of times, so that cost me. But at the end of the day, mate, I'm happy. The boat's competitive. I'm starting to get competitive myself, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Looking forward to seeing how this weekend goes. It's very interesting. Ever been to this place before and raced here?
I've never raced. I came as a spectator back in about 2007 or something like that, when they held the races up here. It's definitely a different track. It's got a bit of a dog leg there on the back straight. But yeah, I mean, a fantastic venue for viewing. The grass area is sensational. The weather's beautiful. Really, really looking forward to what tomorrow brings.
Well, we're all looking forward to seeing Destiny up on the podium. So look out tomorrow, guys. Seeing this guy's going to be up the front and pointy end.
We'll give it a crack, Scotty. That's for sure.
That's what I like to hear, mate. Look, take care. Thanks for turning up this weekend. And look, anyone, we've got to thank some of your sponsors too, mate.
Oh, definitely. Well, but I guess before I do that, I'd definitely like to thank the Melbourne Runabout and Speedboat Club, all the supporters up here and helpers up here, volunteers, anyone that puts on this race event, yourself, streaming to the world, really bringing the professionalism to this series as well. So thanks to Rob and everyone who's put this series together. We love it. But yeah, from a sponsor perspective, definitely Lucas Oils, Durham Transport, they help get the boat here every time up top in the transporter. B&R Engines, Motec, there's probably plenty of others to thank as well. And also, very importantly, my wife, kids, and the crew who just, devote so much time to, what is an event for me, really. They are just phenomenal. So thank you, everyone.
All right.
Been in the King family for 40 years. Obviously a King's hull, so therefore that would be the reason behind that, I would think.
Yeah, and it was his father's race boat as well. So 40 years, so a lot of history in this particular boat.
Some great memories in that. And I'd say they'd be very happy with Revolution Air Conditioning Services looking after them there as well. So good work. Who else we got in the group as well? Zap, the Chap family in Popeye, hailing out of South Queensland Powerboat Club. And of course, the 9.9 Tohatsu, third generation doors, and T-Tech Marine and MY Marine picking up some sponsorship there. Second in the Australian title heat and second in the Windsor Spec as well. Hometown state, of course, they hail out of Bethana in Queensland. First year of racing and occupation, grade 5 student. There you go. Second in both races at Windsor and above. Second in the Australian title heats in J2. And they rolled the boat over in the Australian titles, went for a swim with the boat upside down. So hopefully today they stay on top of the water and not under it, eh?
Yeah, well, Charlie's off in Popeye. The beautiful wood grain on the top of this little Formula Future. And right behind him is going to be Little Liberty. So that's first and second. And then behind Little Liberty, I think the next one to go will be Cool Runnings. Little Fugitive on 28 seconds, and then Cool Runnings on 35.
So the Little Liberty has McKinley Land aboard in the 9.9 Merc. Obviously JS Trans and Ace Automotive pick up some of the sponsorship there. Only the second race for McKinley Land in this one. Another grade 5 student has just started, and this is his second race. He's excited to being the Land Transport in Junior NDC. So good luck to McKinley as he cranks away in this one today. Her, I should say, sorry.
Of course, that's one of the beauties about the juniors. We've got the guys and girls out there, and they love it.
And it's equal.
It's very, very equal, indeed.
And it's great to see the girls taking it up to the guys. And in that previous race there, we had Ivy Mack. So I believe that Ivy Mack would have taken that win. We've done 3/4 of the lap. She'd crossed the line and accepted the 1 lap to go. So I believe under the rules you have to go 75% of race distance.
Yeah, right.
So in my mind, Ivy Mac has won that race. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, Mum and Dad definitely will cheering on down there. So I've got the Mad Dog Racing out there as well with Harrison and Merritt behind the wheel. We've got the Harrison crew, Bryce, Dad and Brent from the VSBC, 9.9 Mercury. We'd like to thank Planet Stairs and DTG for the sponsorship this weekend of the Mad Dog Racing. And it is his first race ever.
Unbelievable. So on debut for Mad Dog. And DTG, the best safety equipment on the market for powerboat racing and ski boat racing.
Yes, indeed, DTG. I've got the helmet, I've got the mask, and they keep you as safe as anything. It's excellent gear. So I know they've got their sponsorship here this weekend, and they're also here to help any of the competitors with their gear.
So this, I think, coming across the line now is the Little Fugitive.
Yep, that's a Little Fugitive with the yellow flag out and about.
So Cool Runnings in blue, Little Fugitive in yellow, Popeye running white and blue, Running Cool in maroon, light blue for White Knuckles, light green for Little Liberty, and Mad Dog in purple. And Charlie Chap getting Popeye right up in the air as he comes over the start-finish line. So probably trying to move around as we, there goes our winner. And that will be in the light blue. So to me, that's White Knuckles, I believe. Bit of white knuckle fever. He's won that by just about the length of the whole main straight. So we wait for our second driver to come across the line. And of course there is a little bit of speed difference with this particular heat race because we have combined the J1s with the J2s. So the little 6.6 racing with the 9.9 horsepowers. So I believe that's light green coming across. Light green was Little Liberty.
Little Liberty was.
Take out second place. So that one started on pole, on scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And third place, the 214. And a big run around the outside here from this blue boat. And yeah, that was the Revolution boat. Look at the speed from Charlie Chap coming across the line there. And again, starting to bounce around and get the bow right out of the water. There's the Little Fugitive coming across the line as well. And the second of that one was also light blue or white and blue. And that will be White Knuckles, I believe, or Cool Runnings. Yeah, Cool Runnings. So that's the way they're going to finish in race number 2C. And it looks like that may be another race to come, another round. And I can see Always pumping in the water as well. So a forced induction boat, a twin turbocharged V8 with Dennis Pasala behind the wheel. Looks like he may be going out for a bit of a test run.
Yeah, Dennis was pretty loose yesterday afternoon, fast and loose.
Oh, there is a great photo on Dave Bishop's Facebook page of the Always pumping, and it's 3 to 4 feet out of the water. It looks sensational. I'll try and grab it for you guys later.
Good work. Hope that everybody's having a great time if they're tuned in to watch what's going on down here at the Ski Club foreshore area. Things are kicking along nicely. Beautiful sunrise this morning, boys.
Yeah, I was up nice and early this morning and was down here on the shore and got a great photo as the sun was coming up from the east, just coming above the trees. And I'm sure there'll be some other panoramic views taken, and you'll be able to find all of the photos from this weekend on all the Talk Photography out of South Australia there. Rolf Stanich, when he's not in Bali, he's always at a boat event, and another guy that loves his powerboat racing and is a really good photographer. So all the Talk Photography, jump on the Facebook page in the next couple of days and check out all the action from the Sunraysia Spectacular here at the Mildura Ski Club. We're just waiting on our forced induction boat, Dennis Pasala. Said the twin turbocharged V8. New engine, new gearbox on board after a few failures at the Gold Coast round up there at Lake Dyer. So we'll see whether Dennis can fire it up. As PC was saying, very, very loose yesterday. And what's going to make it worse, if the boat was behaving like that yesterday, we've now got a strong headwind. So we'll have to keep an eye.
Little headwind now coming down the front straight away, which won't really worry him too much. It's just a slight breeze. It's about 23 degrees at the minute, quite nice. Just like to thank our sponsors this weekend. Of course, GTS Freight Management in Sunraysia Gold Cup. And we've got Land Transport looking after the juniors. We've got Battery World of the Forced Induction Series, of which Dennis Pasala out there in Always Pumping will be taking part in. As I said, he's twin turboed, fine competitor, and out of the Melbourne Runabout and Speedboat Club, and looking to take out a couple of the big feature races this weekend, being the Keith Harrison Invitational. We've got the Gold Cup and, of course, the Battery World National Drivers' Championship.
And, of course, nothing better forced induction-wise than a couple of big hair dryers hanging off the back of the V8. Get an opportunity to wind her out and open her up. Sit back and listen to some of the beautiful tones coming out of that boat as he starts to wind it up and let it go down the back straight. And he'll do the same once he comes off the turn. So we'll sit back and have a listen to the thing as it powers its way past us here at the foreshore area of the ski club.
Yeah, we just saw it chine walk. It started to chine walk about halfway down the back straight there, and a big gunnel slap on the starboard side. Now he opens it up again with two turbocharged V8 into the headwind here at the Mildura Ski Club. It's a little bit more cautious down the main straight this time than what he was down the back straight, John.
Awesome to watch them stand up and then fire out of the water and just flatten out. Watch this beautiful rise as it comes out and then fly across the water. That'll definitely give some good numbers today, I would imagine, Vaughan.
Yeah, this could be what we call a plug read. You go out there and you go as hard as you can and get back to the boat ramp as soon as you can. The guys will pull the plug on those spark plugs. But certainly a big change in fortune for Dennis Pasala this weekend. The boat looks like it's going very, very quick. So, of course, our two heat races coming up today as he lifts the bow right out of the water, this time on the exit. So he's getting more and more confident with this boat lap after lap. And now he's backed it down. So black flag is out. He will return to the shore. And from my hometown in Perth, Western Australia, it looks like Les Smith in the Mad Dog is going to go out and have a run. And Les sitting, I think he qualified around about 6th yesterday. And debut for National Drivers' Championship points this year here at Mildura for Les Smith out of Perth, Western Australia.
Yeah, Les had a really good time yesterday, a 33.2. He was right up there with the running, so just having a look through, we had a lot of lay it on with 31.3. We turned it up with a 31.1. Destiny with a 31.7. Your Decision at 30.6. So Les Smith with a 33.2 yesterday was a pretty impressive run indeed.
Yeah, first time for many, many years Les has been here. So we'll see what happens over this weekend. He's got a lot of help on board. I can see Heath Hamilton down there, Mick Taranto. We've got Chris Dravitt down there, Anthony Bartolo. He's got a big crew and a very experienced crew right behind him this weekend. So the idea is to come here and get the boat sorted and obviously try and do his best as he can for the National Drivers' Championship, and then everything getting prepared for the Worlds, which will be in Berry in January.
That should be a big weekend, boys. I think that's that Australia Day long weekend in 26, yeah?
So, looks like Les is going to have to wait. We're going to send the juniors back out again. So this is, oh, there's Ivy Mack. I can see her moving out. So this should be, I think, race number 3. So our juniors heading down towards turn number 2. It's a little milling area there, and then they'll watch the clock for the countdown. There's a handicap start again for the race number 3. You'll probably find the kids will be sitting well forward this time as they come up the main straight. Turn number 1, put their weight over the front of the bow of the boat to try and keep it down. There's a few big blasts of wind coming down the Murray every now and again. And unfortunately for Epic, caught him out.
Yeah, it doesn't take much either, Vaughan, to be honest.
No, well, they're a very lightweight boat and they don't have any automatic trim system on board. So the kids have to move themselves forward and backwards to get the boat to fly properly.
Balance correctly, yeah. And it doesn't take much to think you've got it in hand when a gust does come through, especially if it's fairly quick to catch them out. And unfortunately, that's the outcome.
As we said, if you can get the bow of the boat out of the water, it only makes contact with a minimal portion of the hull towards the back of the boat. The less contact with the water, the less friction, the less drag. So
Correct.
You're able to keep the speed up. And because they're not the overly horse-powered boats, you've got to try and keep the momentum going. So you do anything you can to try and keep it flying at its optimal position.
A very wicked balance between looking really good and letting it all go to crumbles.
Yeah, certainly. You end up going for a swim. So we haven't got the names on this one. But that's Ivy Mack out of Queensland, the Gold Coast Powerboat and Sports Club. She's first away. It could be the rival. She's the rival. Just trying to find out the green boat that we missed. There's another one coming through now with the light blue. Yeah, Little Fugitive.
I reckon that's the Little Fugitive there, boys.
And then right down the back, everybody else. Look at our leader, Ivy Mack. She's down the back straight, and we've still got one boat to take the start. So a long road ahead, over 3 laps.
He's away now.
Is this possibly Reckless? Yep, that is Reckless, last to leave. So Ivy Mack halfway through turn number 2, and Reckless just taking the green flag up here at race control. You can see Ivy Mack with the white and the green, with, of course, Ivy all over the boat. She's starting to get the really big, starting to porpoise now, and that's how Epic got in trouble. So she's going to try and move her weight towards the front of the boat. Now it's calmed down, so definitely being affected out there by the wind conditions coming from the east. That's Emerson Walker in second place, and she's a rival.
Nice couple of nicely trimmed boats now coming past us, Vaughan, as the faster categories are starting to sneak up. And nicely trimmed as well.
Looks like they've mixed them up this time. So yellow flag will be on display this time.
You're certainly prepped and ready to go, Vaughan, so we'll see that shortly.
And it's still Ivy Mack out in front. So just taking the step up to J3, the top class for Formula Future Racing. And she's doing a great job. Had some pretty good runs up there at Lake Dyer when we went up there a couple of months ago. And at yellow flag, she's got one more lap to go, but she's got some very fast boats trying to mow her down now.
Still a pretty solid effort from Ivy at the front of the field there at the moment. Certainly not a lot of ground being lost at this point.
I think that's She's a Rival Emerson Walker in second place. And we've got a flyer around the outside here, sitting the boat right up. That's one of the wing boats. And you're starting to get rocked around as a big gust of breeze coming through now. You can see the bows of the boat starting to lift up and get out of the water, with Reckless trying to chase them down. Not too far off. Position 5 at the moment is Reckless.
I can see the checkered flag being readied, so next time round it'll be that they'll face, and it'll be sets of points divvied out for the J3s in this one.
Let's see what Caden
J1s and J2s.
Caden Thomas can do here is in the blue boat down at the back. He was started while everybody else was down in turn number 2 and heading down the back straight. So now Caden's got a good head of speed up. He's got one position. Can he get one more position before the end of this lap? But checkered flag is on display, and it looks like it might be 2 from 2 for Ivy Mack out of Queensland. Great run, as we said, just taking the move up to the 15 horsepower category, and she's going to take a win by a good 50 metres. Well done to Ivy Mack from the Gold Coast Powerboat and Sports Club. Coming across the line in second, I think that's going to be She's a Rival. And very, very close. That was the purple boat coming across in 4th place. And light blue will come in. Maybe a little nuts, I think that may have been in the light blue. Very difficult, as we said, very difficult to pick up these little junior boats, and makes it worse when we're looking into the sun.
Would have gone a little nuts on that one too.
Yep.
Nice drive from Ivy at the front of the field though.
Yep, looks like 2 from 2 for young Ivy.
Yeah, that's a great result.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it's a big ask on the family and that to come all the way down from Queensland for the weekend. It's not only, it's the travelling and the accommodation expenses, but to run one of these boats, a spark plug once a year and maybe 2 litres of fuel for a weekend. It's a very economical way of going racing, and very safe, as we've seen earlier this morning. A very safe way of controlled racing. And it's great to see the Land Transport National Drivers' Championship here at the Sunraysia Spectacular this weekend.
And they'll be getting plenty of publicity because they'll be on TV.
Yeah,
they'll be on the 7 Mate, the 7 Plus. They'll be getting the interviews and, of course, getting the exposure at a junior level to all things powerboat racing, and being on the TV, of course, is fantastic for themselves and their sponsors.
Yeah, and the kids can go to school on Monday and say, hey, we're going to tune into 7 Mate and 7 Plus because you're going to see what I do on the weekends.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
Something very different. But yes, that was Emerson Walker in second, and She's a Rival. Had a good run from Reckless there towards the back of the field. Made his way through. I think he got 2 positions by the end of that race.
See the Mad Dog going into the water now, guys. It may be that they'll do a pass with that before we go into our next round, potentially.
Yes, talking to the boys last night, there was no issues at all yesterday with that boat.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed for the West Aussie, the only West Aussie in the field this weekend, and I believe in the series this year. Unfortunately, back home in Perth, we've only got 2 blown alcohol boats. The other one is owned by the Commodore of the West Australian Speedboat Club in Peter Price, driving a boat called 007. But they are our only 2 blown boats. So you will see Peter over in Berry in January.
Yeah, perfect.
So, yeah, WA has to be represented. This is a National Drivers' Championship. It is truly a National Drivers' Championship. So Les running a 407 small block Chev. And it's an 18.4 Evercraft. Fires it up, gets it running this time. And this weekend carrying some special sponsorship out of the Riverland Powerboat Club over there in Berry, South Australia. And it is Chris Philp from Berry Diesel Services jumped on board to help out Les Smith this weekend, along with Swan Racing Developments and Fastercraft. His crew members down there, Chris Dravitt and Anthony Bertoli, and being helped, as I said, this weekend by Heath Hamilton and Mick Taranto as well. And if you cast your mind back to last year's National Drivers' Championship, unfortunately for Heath Hamilton, had a bit of damage done to his boat, so Les kindly went over to Adelaide and put Heath Hamilton in Mad Dog for the weekend so he could continue to rack up his points in the National Drivers' Championship there at the Adelaide Speedboat Club, and then Les contested in the trophy event. So still just getting everything up to temperature at the moment. So he's done one complete lap. He'll probably start to get lean on it now, this time out of turn number 1. Big gunnel slap there as he gets it up over the prop wash. The prop trying to turn the boat inside out towards the right-hand side gunnel. And Les Smith in Mad Dog boat, sounding super strong. A 407 cubic inch small block Chev on board. Now another big gunnel slap there as the boat. That's the propeller to make it Now he gets it sorted out nice and level down in towards turn number 1. He holds the throttle on through the corner, drifts it a little bit wide on the exit, now jumps the boat out of the water and down the back straight. And he's backed it off. So that looks like it. That'll be a good run there for Les Smith, and now the boys will go back and do their routine maintenance, check the data, make sure everything's where it should be. And they'll be back out very shortly for heat number 1 of the Battery World National Drivers' Championship for 2025.
Quick shut off now as they head for the ramp. Looks like the Bruder boat in there as well. So I'd say another pass for Troy Sherpig at some point after the, I believe, the next junior J-class event. We'll sit tight and wait for that one, Vaughan.
Yeah, Troy also out of the Riverland Powerboat Club over there in Berry, South Australia. A very picturesque part of South Australia, and a great club and great facilities over there as well.
Very similar climate-wise to what you see here, obviously on the same parallel. Another fantastic horticultural area, laced a lot with grapes, citrus, and you name it. So great to have them on board as part of the rounds now. I'll certainly be looking forward to Australia Day long weekend next year, Vaughan, for the running of the Nationals over there.
Yeah, we've got visitors coming from New Zealand, and I believe there are 3 Americans on their way as well.
Certainly it'll book the township of, or a lot of the Riverland locations out.
Yeah, well, including the, I believe it's something like 18 times world champion in Duff Daly.
Wow.
Now, the Americans, their displacement boats have a flat bottom, so they literally streetcar them into the corners where our guys drive them in and drive them out. These ones actually handle a little bit more similar to a hydroplane. They skip across, they stay
flat.
Flat. Yep.
Yeah, flat placed, yeah.
So this is Troy Chirpig out on the course at the moment, running Bruder. Wasn't happy with the boat's performance yesterday. It started off well, but started to drift back as the race kept going. Started to drift back a bit.
So again, we'll wait for them to roll through and get a bit of warmth into the engine before they actually start to wring its neck. But great to have them here as well as part of the flotilla of competitors here this weekend. The best of the best for the last of the rounds, decider rounds for the season here in Mildura.
In our catch-up this morning and recap from yesterday, forgot to mention that Glenn Spider Roberts in motivation, beautifully home-built big hole in the sump yesterday, and it's actually moved the sump pan off the bottom of the block. So unfortunately we won't be seeing Glenn Spider Roberts this weekend in motivation. About 3/4 the way down the back straight. It holds quite a bit of throttle through the corners and now lets it have it head on the way out of turn number 2. This time as he goes across his lake from the previous lap. Definitely sounding strong. So probably chasing a little bit of boat setup here. Bow nice and low in the water. Just see those little underneath the boat showing their heads every now and again. But he's really looking for the boat speed here, and I think he might have got onto something. Any changes they've made, that's certainly an improvement on what we saw yesterday.
That looks pretty sharp indeed. That we're looking forward to seeing that later on today.
Yeah, as we said, we've got 4 National Drivers' Championships here this weekend. There's the National Drivers' Championship, the X100, sponsored by Tattoos R Us, and Mark Schultz driving the Artist. He will be out there competing, as well as naming right sponsor for this new series. Then we have the Kavanagh Auto Parts 6-litre National Drivers' Championship as well, and that's going to be crackerjack. There's only 7 boats, but it's going to be very, very close. We saw Steve Rarity in Rastus. He took it right up to them yesterday, coming off the back of a very successful round up at the Gold Coast Powerboat and Sports Club a couple of months ago, where he was actually around the world. I believe he was in England or France at the time, and he put his engine builder in the boat and absolutely blew them to the weeds. And it looks like that form is going to continue this weekend, with Steve already taking a win yesterday.
Yeah, that looked really solid yesterday, and of course it really set the pace for the guys in that class, and really looking forward to seeing that come to fruition again today.
You've also got Brenton Walsh in cabs. He'll be another contender as well. If we have a look at the X100s, there's Mick McArdle in Hombre. Phil Smerlick in Jimbo. He was very, very quick yesterday.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah, the Jimbo boat really showed its form yesterday, and there were quite a few that were actually chasing that boat by the time we finished at the end of the day. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. I don't know whether there's made any changes to anything yesterday at all, but let me tell you, that was a pretty solid recipe yesterday.
I hit him up last night. I said, surely you broke 100 mile an hour. He goes, no, 96.
No, he didn't, because there's a couple of penalties handed out, apparently.
Well,
so the artist,
yesterday.
he got a 5-second penalty, and Nick Borg, he got disqualified in the hot laps, and then he got a 10-second penalty as well. So there's a couple of naughty boys out there.
Well, you've got to remember, guys, that we're combining 3 categories, the 85s, the 95s, and the 105s. So the 105s have got a D-tune, where the 85s and 95s have to go faster.
Yeah, got to stretch.
So,
they got to stretch,
yeah. It's a little bit of give and take. And obviously it caught Mark out yesterday, and also Nick Borg.
But you know what, I think, you think about it from a logical point of view, better to be caught out yesterday than to be caught out through the weekend now. So they pretty much know the set that they've got, and they've just got to make sure they stay within it.
Yeah, they've got to stay within it, because you do it too many times, you actually get a yellow card and a red card against us. That's the Fugitive going out now again. So the 086 heads out. The Fugitive first across the line in another junior race. We've got a great field of juniors, about 20 here this weekend, Vaughan.
Yeah, Xavier Walker. And look at the head start that he got. He has bolted. So 2, that's JD Land and the J63. Then we go back to Crackerjack.
Pretty boat, the Crackerjack.
Yeah, a beautifully presented boat.
Magnificent.
But Fugitive got off to a really good start there. Xavier's halfway down the back straight here. already, and the other boat's just turning out of turn number 1. JD Land in 3rd place at the moment. Light blue in 2nd place, then the white of JD Land. Then we have red of Crackerjack. Right, again, they're starting to get the bow of the boats nice and high as they go down the back straight there. So lap number 1 will be credited to Fugitive. The 86. Trying to work out who this one is. It's a light blue. Light blue in 2nd place. That's a little nuts. Yep, then we go back to JD Land, and look, you can see they're starting to compress here. The last 4 all out in front at the moment. It is Fugitive, Xavier Walker from JD Land, and Andrew Cameron in 3rd place. Jack Hinton in red in Crackerjack. He sits in 4th place at the moment, and he has jumped up the inside now, right up against the pins, coming right down the pole line. So that's going to hang JD Land right out to dry here. He needs to try and move over a bit if he try and block that line, because Jack Hinton has really got the head up, the bow of the boat right up in the wind.
And with the yellow ball to travel on this one now, so there's not a lot of time left. If you're going to make a move, it's going to have to be fairly quick.
Oh, the Fugitives had a hard spin down there, so that's going to lose a lot of momentum. So that will allow, I think it's a little nuts in 2nd place. The Fugitive back up and running again after that half lose. Going back to Andrew Cameron. And Jack in 4th, making a move from JD Land now. So JD, even though it was able to hold out wide, able to keep that momentum up.
Challenge on now by the look of it, Vaughan, of the checkered flag being raised. We've only got, what, 100 metres to roll?
Yeah, this will be a drag race to the line. Our first drag race finish for the weekend for our National Drivers' Championship for the juniors, brought to you by Land Transport. Our Fugitive on the outside. I think that's Andrew Cameron on the inside. It's going to be neck and neck as they cross the line. I reckon Fugitive by about 30 centimetres.
Yeah, not a lot. I'd say an engine cowling.
From Andrew Cameron, a little nuts in 2nd place. JD Land in 3rd. Then we have Crackerjack. Jack Hinton in 4th place.
I'd say almost engine cowling distance between the two of them.
That was great. That's
Max Cameron.
As we said, these guys and girls are on a handicap system, and if the handicappers go well and the weather conditions, the water conditions are okay, they should all cross the line at exactly the same time. But I reckon Fugitive got that by under a foot.
And of course it was Max Cameron, is my understanding.
I've got him down as Andrew Cameron in a little nuts. We'll get that verified, but yeah. Out of the Victorian Speedboat Club. Looks like a lot of them coming from the Victorian Speedboat Club. We've got Charlie's down from the South Queensland Powerboat Club. We've got Raymond Terrace, Upper Hawkesbury.
They're all over the place, eh?
Yeah, they certainly are.
Well, that's the beauty about juniors. They will travel distances to compete.
Yeah, we just need WA involved. It's a long over here from And of course, with the kids, you've got to. So they're a little bit difficult for the junior races from Perth to be competitive in something like this. You have to do it 4 times a year to be part of the series. So, yeah, a lot of expense involved. But our Formula Future back in Perth is looking quite good. We've got a good bunch of drivers, and as I said, we've got 2 brand new drivers for this year. So they'll kick off their season very shortly at Lake, down at Lake Tower. And that's the opening, and I believe that could even be the state titles as the first race meeting.
You're right.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year.
And I suppose the thing too, Vaughan, you have to look at is that it's not just about the juniors coming through, but we talk about some of the competitors that have been in the sport for a while, maybe even to the point where they're stepping back from full-on competition. And giving some of the juniors a hand to sort of build their craft as well.
Yep.
So, you know, there's really that aspect of the upper and the older and a lot younger in between that sandwich of those guys in the really fast classes in the middle. So, you know, hopefully things turn out beautifully over there for the WA teams.
Yeah, it's looking good, looking good. So we have a lot of competitors in the 25 horsepower category over in Perth.
Mm-hmm.
Good field of